you've been also part of multiple IPOs that have been record breaking.
In 2022, in the world, it was the most successful IPO. And if you look at another 50 years, this is going to be the rule. Only the role is not going to change. So I don't see accounting vanishing anytime soon. How you are adapted to the new technology and how you are using those technologies. So I'm working with my CFO and CEO together to make sure those things are being delivered on time. And and then always there are a lot of things happening in IPO. It is all very successful. Now you can tell them, for example, you can have a board navigator. Today we have got an AI tool which helps you do everything that you want it to.
Hello everyone and welcome to Coffee with CA, the global chapter with me, your host Gina Baravani. Today on the show we have CA Sanjiv Jain, the Group Chief Accounting Officer of G42. So we are here to learn all about his journey of over 25 plus years in different industries such as healthcare, cybersecurity, defense, energy and telecom. So let's get started as we deep dive into his journey and learn all about how he's been part of multiple billion-dollar mergers and acquisitions, as well as record-breaking IPOs. And we'll also pick his brains on how AI has been changing multiple industries and also what the future of finance holds. Hello, sir, and welcome to the show. We're really happy to have you over here.
Thank you so much for Zoho to invite me over Coffee with CA. And it's a great pleasure.
So, sir, I'm going to take you back and
Yes.
ask you what got you into accounting, why you chose accounting as your main profession.
Well, I am from a business community background,
Okay.
Marwari Jain. So obviously, finance has been our core blood and in our core blood. So that was our core forte, and father was a businessman. My father is a businessman, so obviously, this was my first preference to go for accounting.
Okay. So, you did your CA back in India.
Yes.
Okay. And you did multiple other degrees. Can you please list down? Because I know you're a gold medalist in a lot of degrees which you've got.
So, well, I've done my chartered accountancy, cost accountancy, company secretary. Then I did my CPA from Australia. I cleared the papers, and then I did my MBA. So, if you categorize my degree, one is of India based, which is basically the CHSE, company secretary. It was easy for me. Why? Because the subjects were all common.
Correct.
Right? So the same thing. So I
Yeah.
studied once and I copy pasted multiple times. So that has been the journey. And
Yeah.
obviously during that time it was much of a fad that people used to get multiple same degree. Everybody was doing it. So that was the mentality which they got me there. And it was easy for me to do it at the same time. The subjects were all common subjects. There was not much differentiation. So I got it. The real differentiation came when I did my MBA.
Oh, okay.
That was where it was after more than 14 years gap,
Okay.
I did my MBA. And that is where the real difference came when it was totally different type of an environment.
Correct.
And that I am talking about 14 years back, I completed my MBA now.
Correct.
So that was the way it really helped me shape up my further career.
Mhm.
Obviously, CA and these degree gave me a first base footing.
Yeah.
But then the real footing came up when I did my MBA.
That's nice. So what, what university did you go to for MBA? Or was it like CA, like how you do it via?
No, so obviously it was in 2008 I decided to do my MBA. I went to academic city in Dubai. I used to stay in Dubai. So there I went to various universities like BITS Pilani is there.
Correct.
You have got SP Jain. You have got IMT.
Yeah.
A lot of other institutes are there. So I had a tour, couple of days tour just to understand what is the offering and what is the economics behind it.
Mm.
And once I did my research, then I opted for SP Jain.
Okay.
That time it is still one of the best MBA university rankings.
Correct.
So I did it, and because I was working, so I chose to do the executive MBA
Yeah.
so that I could work and also do my studies.
That's nice. So that we've covered your studies aspect. So now touch basing on your career, how and tell me all, because I know you have a diverse portfolio of companies that you've worked with. So and especially in different industries. So where did you start? When did you start? Tell me all about that, Joe.
So in 1996, I cleared my CA, and then I got offered from the campus in Indian Oil.
Okay.
From there, I started my journey. I was posted in Calcutta, where my base is. And there I was an accounts officer. I used to go there and I was handling customer reconciliations.
Okay.
Bit forward, and in 99 I got selected in KPMG Dubai. I got an opportunity, I came here. And that is how since 1999 till today, 26 years have passed. I have completed, I have been in UAE. Once I came to KPMG, obviously I worked here for three years. Then I have been changing my jobs as and when the market demand was there, or certain economic factors arose, and that is why I had to change my jobs. So I started with KPMG as an audit consultant. Then I moved to telecom sector. From there I moved on to facilities. Then I went to defense. Then I went to cybersecurity company, and now I'm with artificial intelligence company G40.
Yeah, so you basically had a flavor of every single sector possible.
Yeah. If I look at the work portfolio, almost all sectors except hospitality I would count as still that is a differentiator. Otherwise, I have been in most of the industries.
So that I'm going to pick, especially on the defense sector. It's very rare that you see accounting people going into the defense sector, right? So tell me about that. What made you choose that particular sector?
So I was with a construction company, and from there I got this offer with a company called C4AS.
Okay.
It's into defense, it is into cyber, it is into IT, cybersecurity. Everything. And it has got a niche product portfolio. So I was taken as a CFO. I started working with them, and it has got certain defense projects also. And then an opportunity came where I was transferred from that organization to another organization called M&As.
Okay.
M&As was an Airbus and a local partner joint venture. And that is where I started working for Airbus. I was the CFO, and there was a lot of new things happening. And that is how I got entry into it. It's a very niche sector. It's a very advanced sector.
Correct.
Obviously, defense is the most priority for
any
country.
Yeah.
So that is where we started, and obviously I was very fortunate to get into this business line, understand, because it's very, very unique. The way things work here, how programs are made, how they are conducted.
Correct.
It is very, very sensitive as well as very intriguing, and it's very, very complex also. Very complex.
Yeah.
Things how work out.
Because your end process and your beginning and your end process should be to the point.
To the point, absolutely.
Yeah.
When there's very less chances of you doing, there's no chances of doing anything wrong there.
Error
Is negligible because you're dealing with human lives, you're dealing with very sensitive stuff.
There's no scope of error.
Error risk cannot be there.
Okay. So in such a case, being the CFO of such a company, how did you get in systems and processes in place and see to that the financial aspect of that particular company has also been met?
So, obviously, in terms of this company where I was working in defense, there was the contract. So, in that contract, you have to take care of all the milestones that are there that you have to achieve for the client. And then there was an exposure to foreign exchange. So you need to make sure that you have to cover those exposures. Because we had got vendors from all across the globe, payment made in multiple currencies.
Yeah.
And you need to make sure your inflow is in one currency only, but the outflow is in multiple. So we had to take a hedging to make sure that we have our risks are contained,
Correct.
I would say, so that we know exactly how much I am going to make at the end of the day. So that was one of the part where I had to work to get the hedging in place. The other part was obviously the contractual relationship. So you need to make sure that milestones are properly done, those things are completed, and then the products are given to the customer.
That's nice.
So that was the overall thing. And then contract, commercial negotiation, stuff like that were always there. There were change requests, so you have to submit those change requests to the customer on time, agree with him. There will be obviously some discussions. And that is how things have been evolved.
That's nice. So every industry has their own different requirements. So what kept you going in all of this?
Well, first is my hunger to learn, to new. I have never stuck to any organization I've done my part of the job. It is not that it, and then I moved on.
Correct.
Because there is always new things to learn in any organization. So that has been a motto, and I have been very hungry to learn new, look at new aspects, understand what is new in the market, and keep updating myself. So that way, I got an opportunity to have diverse experience in most of the sectors.
Okay. So tell me about your current role at G42.
So in G42, I started off as a GCFO, and now I'm the Chief Accounting Officer there. So I am handling right now the full accounting, the treasury function. Is there taxation, corporate tax is being implemented in UAE, so I'm handling that part also. Then apart from that, there is a lot of mergers, acquisition, investments. I'm working with my GCFO and GCO together to make sure those things are being delivered on time. And and then always there are a lot of things happening in G42. It is always in limelight, it is always in picture. So those are the newses that come.
You've been also part of multiple IPOs that have been record breakers. Can you tell me your experience with that?
So during my as a GCFO, I was part of 2 IPOs. One is for the Bayana and one was pre-side. So obviously any IPO you need a full team. So I was lucky I had a full team with me, working with me to all these processes. There are a lot of regulatory aspects that you need to take care. So those things were also taken care. The point was that when I did the Bayana, we were given 5 months time. The full work end-to-end to be done. The good thing was that we did most of the work in-house, except for those parts which you need to be statutorily given to external advisors. Like evaluation, you need to get it done outside, as you cannot do it by yourself. So those are the parts that was outsourced by us. So our cost of IPO was the bare minimum that we did it in the market. Then what happened was we did it. That was a huge success. It was the retail part was 130 times oversubscribed, and it was so great. And when the IPO day came, it was 5 times more in the market. So that was a 5x gain on the market on the first opening day when the bell was done. So that was about the first part of the IPO. With that experience, and also to say that when this discussion started, in case we were told that okay, let's not go for an IPO, let's go for a secondary listing. And then somehow I met one gentleman in IC, and then I discussed with him, and he advised me, don't go for secondary listing, go for primary listing. And that was where I was able to convince my GCO that point, because I was GCFO at that point. I went to him and I convinced him that let's go for it. He said, are you sure? I said, yes, I'm damn sure. Let's go for it. It will be. And then he got convinced, and obviously he told me that okay, let's go. And then with the success, obviously he was the first one to tell me thank you. You gave the right advice. It was a super astounding success that we were able to achieve that growth. This was the first tech company listed in ADX. So there were many firsts. That was in 2022. It was the most successful IPO in UAE. In the world, I would say. In the world, it was the most successful IPO in 2022 by an IP. With that being said, obviously, we were basking and in our glory, we were dashed to make the second IPO. So the time given was 3 months. It was in October end, we were told, go ahead. And in October end, when we did the part, we were told in February. So we thought it is extremely challenging in 3 months to come up with another IPO.
That's a very short span.
It's extremely short span. Nobody has done back-to-back IPOs in 6 months, 2 IPOs, unheard of. No company has done it. We were able to do that. And then again, we put up the whole team with a new set of team. We did it again because most of the things we knew it. So we again appointed the same consultants to help us, guide us, and do all the tick boxes. And then we did an internal organization of the pre-side, and then we came to the market. Again, success. Again, super bumper issue. IPO. It is all very, very, very successful. We raised around $500 million in the market, the second IPO, and it's going very strong. Today, Presite announced their profits have risen by 7%. They just announced today their market news.
Okay.
So that was the news today in Dubai.
Sir, you've been part of, you've had a diverse career span. And during this span, you've also been part of multiple mergers and acquisitions. What are your biggest learnings from these?
So, when I joined G42, there was a merger going on between Etisalat and G42, where we were taking over the assets of Etisalat and making the largest Middle East data center.
Correct.
That is by the name of Khazna.
Yeah.
Khazna was our brand, and then we were acquiring Etisalat data centers. And that was it. So when I joined, it was almost at the fag end that it was going on. And obviously, there were a lot of paperwork to be done, and we were able to cross the line and complete the merger. The second merger happened just 1 month after. We were told that G42 and Mubadala are going to merge their healthcare assets.
Okay.
That was the second merger where I was involved end to end, and it started off with all the paperwork, where the term sheet, the defined terms, definitive terms, and then final closing of the merger. If I combine both these mergers that took place, one was for healthcare, one was the data center, there are very lot of things that we learned and the things that we should be remembering. One is that we should be on, if I talk about the finance part, there is a post-merger integration definitely. In post-merger integration, you have a lot of things to take care. And business synergies, cost optimization, those things are set. That is why you do mergers. So that you have optimization, business valuation grows, those are given. From finance point, if you ask me, it is very important that when you are doing this type of mergers, the shareholder agreement, the terms of the completion account, these are very, very sensitive documents. It is very important to go through these documents. Most of the lessons I have learned only by way of understanding these documents, how we are able to complete this merger. For example, like in healthcare merger, we were very clear on how the merger will happen, what is our cash outflow, what are the things to take care. Because we had got experience from our data merger, I made sure that all the things that I missed out there, personally, I ensure it is covered in the healthcare one. So when the post-merger exercise started of completion accounts, at that point I was very clear that everything is by the book. There's nothing left outside the book. The accounting policy, the rules, the regulation, everything is documented. And what good I did was, when I was making the books, I kept the other party fully informed. So we used to have a committee meeting. Every meeting we used to produce our accounts, ask them, this is what it is it the same meaning? Are you aligned? Because I didn't want surprises to come back. So obviously when they were there, they were obviously looking into every possibility, and we got all their guidances. Wherever they could make a point, I ensured that is already addressed in the first one. So by way of open communication with them, they thought that I have already given them everything that they would need to know. And I was much advanced in that. So when the accounts were finally submitted, there was no surprise for my part at least. So they were exactly knew it, so they could not come up with any further questions. That no, this is not correct, that is, because I have taken them into confidence from day one. So they knew everything about my books, and that was the very smooth exercise that went by. So it is very, very important to have an open communication. Some people think you are opening the cards too soon. For my case, I knew my what was my outflow, so I knew that. So it was very easy for me to open the cards and take their guidance, because I didn't want later on those things to come up. No, this is not correct, that was not correct. And there are a lot of nuances. So that is the biggest learning for me.
Talking about business growth, and how do you maintain your finance risks which come in? Like with such mergers and acquisitions or IPOs and all of it, there are risks involved. How do you maintain that while also seeing to that the growth is also steady?
So in the current organization, G42, obviously we are into tech industry. All our product portfolios are related to tech. In tech industry, it is very important that you need to take risk first. The growth will come later. Because it is unknown territory. It is not brick and mortar work.
Yeah.
You are not setting up a supermarket or a construction house. You are into an unknown product line.
Yeah.
There is a chance that the product will be successful or not successful.
Correct.
Right? So that is where we have to first take. So we were very fortunate that we were allowed to take those risks. So first thing is that yes, we will take risk. That has been our motto.
Yeah.
Right? The growth has to come thereafter.
Correct.
So normally you first see the growth, you see your sustainability, then you take risks.
Yeah.
We are on the reverse side. Let's take risk. This is a good thing to do, and that is how we have been very, very successful. So risk taking has been part because if you do not take risk, you will never grow.
Yeah.
You have to take risks to grow.
Correct.
There is no other way to grow otherwise. Otherwise, you will be doing one company of construction, you make another company of construction. You are just doing growth, you are not doing
You're just implementing
the same thing together. You are not doing, there is no development.
Correct. Yeah.
The most important thing is you need to take risks. So for us, in our product portfolio, we take the risk first and the growth happens thereafter.
That's interesting, sir. So, sir, you're part of G42, which is everything AI related and tech related. So, as a CEO, how does AI and technology benefit you as of date?
So for AI, let me bring some insights.
Sure.
If you look at accounting, we used to do all our accountancy in manual mode. Right?
Yeah.
I did all my accountancy in manual mode.
Correct.
Thereafter, in 1985, 1890s, right, we got laptop computers came in and software were produced, and we started maintaining the accounting ERP systems came into place.
Yeah.
Right, so so it was first manual, then we got a tool which we did all the calculations, castings, cost referencing, everything we used to do. Now we have got artificial intelligence. It is also another tool, but this is a predictive tool.
Correct.
What it does is, it immediately reads your mind. It tells you what is the next thing to do.
Correct.
Right? We have done prompting, like if you type in Word, Microsoft Word, if you write something, now the word prompts the next few letters, sentences, everything it does. This is what AI is all about. It is we are putting our brain power, our thinking power into a machine. The machine will do everything that we are supposed to do. Right? Now see what is the importance of this in finance world. If you look at the general CFO role, it is all about business improvement, cost optimization, process improvements, set new business setup, all those things are there, which is a general. These functions have been there for ages. For past, if you look at 50 years of time, this is what is the role. And if you look at another 50 years, this is going to be the role. Only the role is not going to change. The activities are the same. The tools are getting improved.
Correct.
So today we have got an AI tool which helps you do everything that we want it to. Now you can tell them, for example, you don't need, you can have a board navigator.
Yeah.
What it does, you can put all the company information, ask him, please tell me last 5 years revenue. Within seconds, it will provide you. You say put it in a graph, it will put it in a graph. You want it in text, it will take. You want to speak it out, it will say the same thing in words or in numbers. So that is the way. You don't have to retain those. Previously, CFOs used to remember those numbers. No need. You have a ready reckoner, just ask them, it will spell out everything, all information you need. So that is where the accounting part comes. You can ask that software what mergers acquisitions happened in 2022, right? It will immediately list out all the mergers you have done. You can ask any questions, any ratios.
Correct.
It can do it within split of a second. It will give you the answers. No need to use calculator. Right? Calculator is also a tool. If I give you balance sheet, you can calculate the ratios by yourself. No need to even think of that, because these are standard information that is required. The AI is able to deliver those items. You get a lot of brain power released by not remembering those things which your computer can easily remember.
So then in that case, say now a lot of people when they are talking about AI, there's also a security measure that comes into place. Right?
Yes.
So, what are your thoughts on that?
G42 is one of the premier organizations in UAE which is more into artificial intelligence.
Yeah.
Having said, we have taken up the ownership of doing responsible AI.
Okay.
This is an organization that is going to lay down the standards for the leadership to adopt so that we know what is ethical and what is not ethical.
Mm-hmm.
Today, point is that you have got so many deepfakes, your image, your voice, your modulation, everything can be copied in a split of a second.
Correct.
The question comes that whether it is ethical. No, answer is it is not ethical. But will people use it for their ulterior motives? Yes, definitely they will use it.
Yeah.
So we have to do the fine line. But because there is no rules, and the point is that normally what happens is in any country or any law, the law is pronounced and then people find out how to meander. Here, AI has been very, very fast adaptive, and the government legislations are very slow coming up right now because they want to understand what exactly it is and what they will make you.
Correct.
Because it has been universally adopted, AI, the point is now it is very difficult to control. The law in place. Because there are so many nuances in this aspect, which everybody has to take care. And the industry is now, it is emerging at a very, very rapid pace. What ChatGPT was done it over there, you got DeepSeek. DeepSeek came and just overtook overnight.
Yeah.
Right?
In a single night.
In a single night, that's it. So this is the evolution of the industry right now. Overnight, the whole business model of NVIDIA is being questioned up right now.
Correct.
Right? They are asking what have you done? Why is it so expensive here where the other counterparty is very, very cheap?
Yeah.
So this is where the technology comes. In terms of AI, obviously you need to be very, very responsible. And that is where we are in the forefront trying to lay down the industry standards, telling this is how you should be doing it.
Mm-hmm.
So if we are doing that for us in our organization, we are not allowed to use ChatGPT to make commercial propositions and stuff like that.
Correct.
Right? That is the no-go for us.
Yeah.
So we have to be very, very careful. Although it is very enticing, it is very shortcut.
It's just easy.
It is easy. You can easily put your data, you will get a proposal within copy paste.
But you don't know where that data is being circulated.
Exactly. Because it's open source. Your information is as you take information from others, you are also giving information to the system. So that is where you have to be very, very careful what you can use it for, what you don't use it for.
Yeah.
And good thing is that all industry leaders are accepting it. They are laying down their own rules, how to make sure that the AI is being used in a very responsible and sensible manner.
So my next question would be, how can someone use AI for cost efficiency and automation?
Okay. So let me give you an example.
Yeah.
If you go to any hospital, right, the intake process is extremely time consuming, right?
Yeah.
You will go to the hospital, give your MX ID, family in UAE, you go to the reception, they will open your file. If it is not there, they'll ask you to fill a paper, right?
Correct.
And then once you sign off, then they will ask you to wait. Then they will take you to another room for vital checkups. Then they will send you back to your seat. Then after some time, doctor will call you and then he will ask normal standard procedures. And then one person will take the notes, another person will type it in the computer, third person will go to some other place, print out my stuff. Now, if there was AI, how the scenario would have changed, and also including the onboarding process. When suppose you wanted the appointment, so in appointment also you call the hospital, then they say this doctor is not available, that doctor. Now let's investigate what an AI solution can do. Suppose I have a medical condition, I want to go to an hospital. There should be a government app where you just simply say, I want to meet an ENT doctor. Right? I am based in, say, Abu Dhabi. Please tell me an Indian doctor who is an ENT specialist. The AI tool will navigate all the hospitals in Abu Dhabi because that's where I am living, assuming.
Yeah.
It will navigate, it will tell you, these are the list of doctors. You want to go from your home or from office. It will calculate where you want to go and then shortlist, please go to, say, X hospital in Reminder. Right? It will tell doctor is available, you can stop your work, you can go there and do it. It will do the onboarding process itself. Meaning it will book the appointment, it will put your invite in the calendar, everything will be synced up. It will tell you how much distance it will take you to reach the hospital from your current place. So everything is done. You visit the hospital, your information is already there, everything is put there. No need to wait, no need to look. You just go, tell the doctor your condition, come out with your MS ID because your insurance is there in the MS ID, you can go tap it and you will get your medicine. The whole process is very, very fast, efficient, and no need because I have seen for one person, 3 nurses are running around.
Correct.
Now you see how much resources are being utilized in what manner, I do not know, but then this is the reality that for one person you have got 3 nurses coming. Then those nurses, obviously you don't need 3 nurses to take care of you, right? You need 1 doctor, 1 nurse at the maximum at any point. This is where AI will come. It will cut down your cost by minimum 40%. And see the amount of time saved for the nurse. They can do their learning, they can grow up also in that same time rather than just running around with the patient.
That's a really nice example, the way you put it, sir. So that way, every industry will benefit from AI. So now, I'm going to, draw parallels in terms of like industries which you have been, you've had experience with, such as like defense. How can AI be helpful in defense? Can you give me an example, just like how you did for healthcare?
Then you see Elon Musk. When Trump came into office, right, as a president, he immediately appointed Elon Musk as DOGE, head of DOGE, right, Department of Government Efficiency.
Correct.
What is supposed to do? It is going to bring out efficiency in all the government departments, right? Now, when Elon Musk came, he was saying that okay, F-35 program, it should be abandoned, right? This is one of the best fighter planes that mankind has ever known in today's life. There he is telling no, we should have all drones which are artificially intelligent. They can pinpoint locations, pinpoint targets, do whatever the work that fighter jet can do without human. So you are saving human life because anything could happen in a fighter jet. So that is what it is. So he wants to now divert the whole budget of F-35 into the drone program. Now you see what is going to happen. Right?
A lot of cost saving.
There is going to be immense cost savings, life savings, everything is going to be there. Right? And it will be a pinpointed, whatever you want to do it will have the same thing coming up. So defense is one of the key areas where you will be able to, because everybody is getting sophisticated. So this is one of the areas where you will get the maximum desired results if you are going out and using of AI technology in defense.
So how about construction? Because since you also had an experience with that would be my last.
So construction, obviously, it's again a multi-billion. There's a lot of property development happening in UAE, as you can see. And AI is again going to be very, very beneficial to them. You can use AI for your product designing, for cost optimization, product sourcing, right? Bulk agreements you can make. You can make sure that your construction, your calculations, your costings are very, very accurate, right? It will also tell you at what price you can sell to how much discount you can give to a customer to make sure that you are able to sell your product much in advance.
Correct.
You can use AI for your full marketing of the product. For example, you are coming up with a new plan. You can easily use AI to do a full sourcing of your marketing of that particular project to the industry, to the market, and come up with that result.
So how can an accounting software that is targeting SMBs or even SMEs or even a large scale organization, how can AI and an accounting software be beneficial to these businesses?
Good one. And I will try to cover both aspects of accounting and auditing so that I give a comprehensive answer. Let's take auditing first. If it is auditing, if you use an AI tool, today we have got certain auditing software. It's just an audit trail software. It tells you when a thing has happened. It doesn't tell you why it has happened.
Correct.
For example, somebody goes and on a Sunday, Nobody is there. He goes inside the office, passes some general entries. The software will capture. Auditor will come to know with the use of his software tool, auditing tool, that Mr. A accessed the system on so and so dates when it was a Sunday, entry was passed on that time.
Yeah.
So it tells you when things have happened. It didn't tell you why it has happened. If I look at auditing, obviously it tells you the tool, current tool tells you the when it has happened.
Yeah.
AI tells you why it has happened. It just gives you predictive analysis. Why is certain things happening in a particular moment of time?
Correct.
And you can easily find out a lot of things, lot of analysis can be done in terms of auditing. This makes your whole auditing cycle efficient and productive. Secondly, if you look at financials, because you take a financials, if you have to do the casting, the checkups, you can easily scan the financials, send it to the AI tool. It will do all the checks and it will highlight what are the errors in that.
Correct.
Whether it is grammatical error, it is number error, casting error, everything it will throw out. So that reduces a lot of time to get your financials out.
Correct.
The whole automation, or I would say artificial intelligence, will make the whole auditing experience a very smooth exercise, risk-based approach, and you will be able to get a full 100% efficiency while you are doing your auditing.
Correct.
Now I take over to the accounting part.
Sure.
So accounting, obviously, if you look at it, it is basically code where you post the transactions, you come up with your financials, and then you do the analysis of those financials. With AI, obviously, the whole experience will be a seamless one. Today, you have got ERPs, no doubt, it does everything. But then, with artificial intelligence, the second and the third part of the job becomes very, very meaningful. It prepares, not only it will prepare your financials, it will also give meaning to those financials, and it will give you explanations that certain things are not done right. For example, if you have posted wrong entries, right, it will tell you immediately that these entries are wrong.
Correct.
Why? Because of the nature. If you look at any ERP, it may prevent certain entries from being posted wrong.
Correct.
But if it is posted, it will never highlight you why it is wrong.
Yeah.
With ERP, with AI, obviously you can pinpoint all the wrong transactions that has been posted, easy to rectify, and it will give more meaning to your financials. So for example, industry to industry, the account nature changes, their classification also changes. If I am a finance company, for me interest income is my revenue. But if I am a trading company, my normal goods trade is my revenue. Although interest is there in both the cases, it will pick up the right manner. How would you present it? What are the right ratios to be calculated? What ratios are applicable for a particular industry, and for other industries, those ratios don't make sense.
Yeah.
This is what AI is going to do. It will give more meaningful, more efficiency into the whole process of both accounting and both auditing.
That's very interesting, sir. I think with AI, the world is just going to be much more faster, much more quicker. Everyone's going to be on their toes, because then in that case they have a lot more time on their hand, so that they can start getting into more of analysis and analytical part.
Yes. So the point is that you now need to be ahead of the machine.
Correct. Yeah. And that's
Because you have already given everything to the machine.
Yeah.
So now you have to think what's next.
Correct. So more of like critical thinking.
More of critical thinking, something that okay, you now can focus on now we need, because machine will not tell you what is your next merger, what is your next IPO, that it will not tell.
Yeah.
So you as a CFO will be having enough time to look into things. How can I get more value for my business? What are the synergies I can adopt? Whom I can take over? What are the cost efficiencies I can bring about? And then let machine do all those work after you have taken a decision.
Talking about the future, apart from AI and the entire world of tech, how do you see accounting growing?
So accounting, if you look at history, it started in 1500s, right, in Italy. Since then, it is almost 600 years have passed by. It is going to stay wherever there is money, there is need to be accounting. So I don't see accounting vanishing anytime soon.
So accountants don't need to be worried.
No need to be worried. What is more important is that how you are adapted to the new technology and how you are using those technologies for your own benefit.
Correct. Yeah.
You need to make your life easy, efficient, educative, so that you can be ahead of the race.
Yeah.
This is very, very important. The topic is going to be there. Accountancy is going to be there. Accountants will be there. There is no escape for that. It is question how efficiently you can do your job.
Yeah.
And the most important thing is that you need to keep learning every day, every minute. If we don't learn, we are obsolete. And you see the new generation, they are much, much more advanced than what we are.
That's there.
That is always, and it is going to be there. So we need to be ahead of that race. I am not saying it is a rat race, but you need to adopt. Like we didn't have smartphones, but we are very easily adapted to smartphones.
Correct.
Right? So this is all about it. AI is a smartphone for us.
That's nice, sir. All right. Thank you so much, sir, for this
Thank you.
conversation.
Thank you.
I've had a lovely time chatting with you.